Welcome to Captive Conversations. I'm your host, Adam from Captive Wi-Fi. Join us as we dive into behind-the-scenes stories of hospitality leaders, exploring tech, operations, and marketing through the eyes of the experts. Let's get the inside scoop together. Hello, everyone. This is episode 18. I literally posted... Well, in the timeline, episode 10 this week, so it's really weird being on episode 18 and I'm going full steam ahead. So today we have the pleasure in this country of having David from 16 and from Buddy and from...
Illglu.
Illglu?
Illglu. The integration company.
Oh, is that the integration? That's not on your... Is that on your LinkedIn as well?
It's under Venture Unicorns.
Ah, okay. So... I tried to do a little bit of a dig and ChatGPT helped you, but you need to add that in there as well, man.
Yeah.
So that's basically the integration piece, right?
Yes.
We'll come to it. We'll come to that. So there's lots that we'll come to. Okay. So episode 18. There you go. A little round of applause for you. Thank you for coming. So we have two questions from the last guest. Okay. And the last guest was Prithi from Sentiment Search. An awesome tool, which I will do you an intro after this podcast. So one of the questions he was given from the previous guest, he actually wants to give it to you as well.
Okay.
Which is really interesting because he does AI stuff. So the question was, as technology continues to evolve, how do you see the role of artificial intelligence transforming the guest experience in the hospitality industry over the next 5 years?
Well,
it's a big one.
Yes.
You could say 2 years because it's going quick, but I mean 2 to 5.
Yeah, and also AI as a term is becoming a buzzword. It is a buzzword, and everyone wants to put AI in everything.
Yes,
we'll be seeing dishes coming out with AI. What's that?
You're right.
But yeah, no, I think in the real term of AI, I think it will help operators get more personal with their guests.
Yeah,
but in volume, it's very difficult to kind of give that feeling that kind of you go to the mini shop where the bartender knows your name in a larger operation. Yeah. So AI will help that because it knows that you come there twice a week, 3 times a week. You like your latte with vanilla or with chocolate or with this or with that. So that's gonna...
It's those touch points, right? Helping on the touch points.
And helping elevate kind of the experience, making people feel like they are personal. Yeah. Because that costs money.
Yeah, well, to be fair, in the past, it was very much the maitre d' that would be at the restaurant. Exactly. You'd pay him a lot of money, and he would remember you. Oh, David, welcome back. This is your table. Come sit. Steaks coming here. Your glass of champagne's already, which isn't there anymore, right?
Yes.
So that gives you that. I think, to be fair, everyone has mentioned that when I've talked about the AI or machine learning in hospitality, because some of the hotels are already doing it. Some of the hotels that are already doing this sort of stuff where, because Lawrence, when he came, his podcast came out Monday, he was like, the Four Seasons for me is, he went to Four Seasons in Thailand, he went to play tennis, came back, and this guy out of nowhere said, he goes, Mr. Havanah, how was tennis? He's like, all right, that's a bit much. Like, that's a bit intrusive. Or you go to the, how was your meal last night? So that little thing, it's just notes, right, in your account.
Yeah. And again, you're mentioning the Four Seasons, but how can you deliver that experience in everyday
everyone.
Life?
Yeah.
And in everyday life. Yeah. So you don't go to the Four Seasons every day.
Well, depends how many companies you have, right?
I don't go to the Four Seasons every day, don't worry.
No, I agree with you. I think the customization in hospitality, I think, will definitely make a big point. Everyone's talking about it right now as well. And I think there's difference between AI and ML, machine learning, and the buzzword of someone could say, we're AI, but they've just plugged in ChatGPT.
And a simple integration.
Yeah.
If we've integrated a product, then now it's doing something with machine learning or artificial intelligence or just a simple process, which is repetitive, which gets something done.
Yeah, and helps them with time, right? So awesome. Next question. This is from him. Are you happy with the existing customer feedback insights that you get? If you could have anything you wanted to add the oomph that would help, what would it be? Because you've got a whole range of stuff. Because it's not just. I mean, obviously you have clients and restaurant clients and so on. Then you've got the co-working space as well. So there's lots of different facets of the business.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can touch on any part of that really for this. But I mean, restaurants probably going to be interesting.
With restaurants, I think at least my experience or our experience in Malta, we do get feedback, but I don't think it is at the level of say the UK or the US, and I don't think it is valued enough. The big problem is, okay, you got feedback, someone said something, but what?
Yeah.
So what do you do with it? Do you read them? If you read them, it's good. In Malta, we've got this Facebook page where everyone rants about anything, but people sometimes rant because they want something for free.
Yeah.
So is that good feedback?
Yeah.
Is that genuine feedback? Someone rants about finding something in their meal. I had a case with a client once. He went and reviewed the CCTV and watched the burger being done step by step to ensure that there was no piece of plastic in that burger.
Yeah.
But this out there was a feedback saying,
yeah,
found a piece
it's
of
hard,
plastic.
I guess. On that note, Prithi's platform actually does some really cool stuff with weeding out the fake ones, which is quite nice. So that's going back to AI. That's pretty clever. But you're right. I think the challenge you have, it's same here as well. We have loads of clients that use our feedback and don't respond. Because we gate the negative.
Don't take action.
So we gate the negative and we send the positive through. So they're very happy. But there are some customers that we tell them, oh, by the way, there's 15 reviews you've not looked at, and there's no action because but the majority do. The majority go through if there is some form of push.
I think an oomph in customer feedback would be kind of the engine that would tell you, because you're getting these kind of reviews, I would recommend you to do this.
Yeah.
Try this and see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be clever. Yeah. Oh, to be fair, or alternatively, using the tool you have to show you the trend. There's a trend of this.
Yeah.
There's someone's not being served at a certain time. I think that at one stage,
exactly, which might be a staff issue, not a product issue.
Correct.
Or an SOP issue.
Yeah. So back where you are, is there feedback platforms that people use? Or is it just mainly just sort of like a Google, like scanner?
Google here and there.
Yeah. But there's nothing like streamlined that people use. People just push you to Trip or Google, or is it restaurants not
Google
really?
Mostly. Google mostly. We're getting more feedback now that we're introducing StoreKit in most of the stores.
Nice.
And kind of every time someone orders, even if they order 3 times a day, you get asked 3 times.
Yeah.
How was the experience? So that's building a good enough database of feedback.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of space for feedback to grow on Malta.
Nice. Okay, so this is the standard questions that we have. So the standard questions we have, there's 2 here and then a couple at the end. So the first question is best hospitality experience.
Interesting question. I would say, a shout out to Kautar in Morocco. I would say Morocco. Yeah. I was impressed. I was down there like 5 weeks ago, and
their team are awesome though. Like
their team is but I was impressed by the hospitality within Morocco.
Interesting. Yep.
And kind of I was literally feeling like I was
part of the family, maybe.
One, but also kind of taken back in time to the days when hospitality was hospitality.
Oh, really?
It wasn't purely come in, eat.
Not transactional.
That's the exact word. So something as simple as a valet, something which we're not used to. You just valet your car, and you just go park it, and we get it back when we're done.
Yeah. Sorry, you looked at me like sometimes you don't get it back. That's what I was. That's what the look. I was like, does it happen sometimes? But
Kautar took us around. It was myself, Nico, and Fabio from No Rival.
Nice. I had a chat with him the other day. He's awesome. They are just awesome. I love the story. I won't go into it, but the story of how they got created and how they're and I love the name as well because we've got no rivals. Like that's Italian for you, right? That's gumption. What should we call ourselves? No rival, because no one's going to be, But yeah, so nice because that's your your reseller buddies, right? That's your Lightspeed buddies.
Yes,
which is nice. And I was on one of the chats that they did, and it was a really nice sense of community.
Yes,
because you don't always get that, right?
And it's it is very important in the sense. In the end, we're all running the same thing in
Yes.
different countries.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see how similar it is.
And the challenges you're all having.
It's the same challenge.
Yeah.
It's the exact same challenge.
Yeah.
We had a discussion when we were down in Morocco and we were seeing the operation down there with Kautar. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the same challenges I have in Malta,
Yeah.
they have in Morocco and nor I will have in Italy.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I like that you have that option because it's I find it interesting because before I even did work Lightspeed, I mean we worked with Lightspeed for years. We're agnostic, right? We work with everyone, and but there's never been a real build relationship. They're now building proper relationships, which is great.
Yes.
And I remember going online and we were talking to a company in the US we were doing some work with. And I did a search for Lightspeed, and there were about 90 million resellers in America of Lightspeed,
Yes.
but none of them were really. One was an accountant,
But it's a different kind of reseller.
yeah, but they weren't a reseller. They were just like
They are sales resellers.
yes, yeah. They're not
We're a
implementation.
completely different.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
breed.
It was weird when we met, and we were talking. When I was talking to you, and then obviously I met some of the others. I was like, "You are Lightspeed in Malta. Like there is, it's it. Or to be, or it was I can too before, right?
Yeah, in our case, it was I can too.
Yeah,
So we've been working with K
That product,
series
yeah.
for a little over 8 years now.
Wow. Okay. I don't think we talked about. Did we talk? I asked you the question. The standard question was best hospitality experience. I don't know where that came from, but you said that. So that was the best hospitality experience. Going to Malta, was that the sorry, not Malta. Going to Morocco, that what warmth and everything else. The little
Seeing
little
the real hospitality, because I think sometimes we've lost hospitality.
Yeah, I agree.
Over time.
Yeah.
It's become, as you said, transactional.
Mm-hmm.
It's as fast as I can. Repeat.
Yeah.
And kind of we're losing the experience side of it all.
Okay, so next question is best hospitality tech, and none of yours.
That's very. So I
can do a few if you want. I mean, if there's a few you want to touch, because I know that you've got some, some lovely partners.
I think I would like to believe that we've chosen the best tech stack.
Yeah.
And it's been 10 years in the making. So it's either I don't answer or I answer with the correct tech stack.
Okay, how about for you yourself? Like, what do you find being the best? Like, actually, if you were to go somewhere and you've experienced that tech, rather than the partners you work with, but for you maybe, how about that? Has anything stood out and like, oh, that's pretty cool? Because like hotels have apps now, and there are little bits and bobs that are pretty clever. I mean,
I think the order and pay at table,
that generation of stuff.
Is currently the next big thing.
Yeah.
And especially mentioning hotels, we're doing a lot of work with hotels in Malta, kind of reinventing room service.
Yeah, because it's
which died.
Yeah, completely.
All the hotels
Uber and all of the rest of them, all the delivery platforms out there, has just take a massive chunk out of F&B.
Yes, and also kind of all hotels have seen room service as a loss leader.
Yes.
You need to do it to keep the stars.
Yeah,
but it's a loss. You lose money because you need someone waiting for a call.
Yeah.
And when that call comes in at 2:00 in the morning, someone needs to handle it. And you need to keep the kitchen open at 2:00 in the morning. No, you don't.
Yeah.
There are outlets which can supply.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, interesting. So are you working with them to find those outlets to then help? So it feels like it's in-house.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes. So.
That's really clever. So you can create a branded...
A mix between order and pay in the room.
Yes.
And delivery platforms.
Yeah. That's really nice. So then if there is a little chef there doing X, they can do it. But if they want to charge the room to whatever...
There's a McDonald's 24 hours.
Yeah.
So if you just arrived from a long-haul flight and you want to eat something, at least you can eat something.
But are you doing stuff whereby... I mean, could you do it where it's all on your rooms... Rather than you have to pay, so you get to your room and you're like, oh, do I want in-house or do I want external? Rather than having to open up the app.
I think that is still a bit of a conversation builder, because I think the charge on the room most of the time only works to put everything as business expenses.
Yeah, true.
Other than that, you've got your card, it's Apple Pay, double tap.
About 5 years ago, there used to be sorry, I'm turning the volume. There used to be, I forget the name of it now. it was in the beginnings of like Uber and Deliveroo and all the rest when they came over here, and there was this delivery solution that didn't have an agreement with a restaurant, but they put all the restaurants on their website and on the app as well, and you could order, and the delivery driver would turn up and say, "Can I have a burger with cheese?" La, 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 la. And after I think 6-7 months of them being out there, they would look at the drivers and go, "No," because they see that, and so the driver would wait there. They'd order the food, or their office would call and say, "I can have a takeaway, please," which was sort of clever. But then all the restaurants got wind to it and they died. So, but that sort of concept could be.
It's at the end, it's concierge.
Yeah, you're right. And if it's I've been to other hotels in the UK where the F&B is pretty poor. No, on the note of F&B, Scott Turner from Auden Hospitality is one of our people we work with. He's basically helping those hotels that are failing with F&B and putting better tactics in, because it's not a lost leader. It can be.
It can be quite a profitable. One case we have in Malta, one of the first hotels we've done is an all-inclusive 600 room.
Wow.
And I was like, how are we going to sell room service in an all-inclusive hotel?
Yeah.
And we took on the challenge. We did the installation, and we're doing a couple grand a month.
Oh, interesting. So it's on top. So it's on top of. So all inclusive is you can go downstairs
with 17 restaurants in the site.
Yeah. But if you want it to your room,
yes, and it was very interesting to see. One of the very first orders was a kids meal.
Yeah, so clever.
Yeah,
what a nice way of just.
You've got the kids settled in the room.
It's consistency, it's usability, easeability, and if you can offer that to the customer, they're going to pay for it, right?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to go back in time a little bit. And start from the beginning. Like, where did it start? Like, where did it come from? You've been doing this for a long time.
10 years this year.
Yeah, wow.
16.
So where did it start? Was it in tech? Was it in hospo? Like, where was your first?
Tech. My background is tech, but I've worked hospitality all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Started working bars, then lights, and worked my way up the food chain. But 16 started off. So before 16, I had another company in tech, doing vehicle tracking and telematics.
Say again?
Vehicle tracking and telematics.
Oh, vehicle tracking. Yep. Cool.
I exited that company, and I was like, okay, now what I do? What should I do?
Yeah.
Funnily enough, and a lot of people ask me why 16. So 16 is my birthday.
Oh, is it
16th September?
Oh, 16th of July. So yeah, my brother from another mother. So
that's happy birthday then.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thank you.
So 16th September, and 16 is my lucky number.
Yeah.
So and
that was it.
There's actually a very funny story around how I ended up on 16.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a name. I was trying all kinds of different combinations and this and that. So I just decided to, first time in my career.
So is it the first time for your own company, or was the last company you worked with, you grew with them and you built with them?
So the company I was with before, I entered after the company was already set up. So I kind of entered.
You grew with them basically,
and grew with that. Yeah. But then it was time to move on.
Yeah.
And I moved into not knowing what is needed. And funnily enough, a friend of mine called and he's like, I just took on this big Lido and I don't know what POS I'm gonna use. So I researched POS.
Nice.
And back then it was POS Lavu.
Lavu, okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So that was the first POS we installed. Good system, but too American.
Yeah.
It was very reliant on the internet. Yeah. Not even Wi-Fi, internet. So we only did like a couple of years with that. Yeah. And interestingly enough.
So hold on, did you like consult, or what did he do?
Initially, yes. Yeah. So initially 16 was 16 Consulting.
Yeah.
So that was the initial brand that came up. But the word consulting is a big word.
It is. And
it's a scary word for the food industry. So
I think they feel they're going to get ripped off. I don't know what it is. I did the word consultant. And when people see it, they're like,
I'm going to have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we dropped the consulting.
Yeah.
I still have one of the walls in the old offices still says 16consulting.com because that was the original website. We dropped the consulting and went on just using the 16.
Yeah.
We've now rebranded to 16 Hospitality Solutions.
Nice.
Because we've narrowed down. So in the beginning, we had like 20 different SaaS software
Oh,
in
really?
the stack.
Okay.
But anything from zero. So one of our first software was Zero, which we
Yeah.
started
Love
doing
Xero.
post Lavo. Retail management software. Building management, real estate management.
Yeah, real estate.
All kinds of different software. And then I realized, like, with all those kinds of software, you'd need an army of people to actually have expertise in everything. So they started dropping, and we started kind of moving towards where the audience was taking us.
Yeah, you were guided.
We were guided into the restaurant scene. And
Poor
kind of
you. No, I'm
first restaurant, second restaurant,
Yeah.
third, fourth.
And then was it just very much word of mouth? Because as Chris from Tech on
100%.
Toast always says, I think he said 85% of people refer business to other businesses.
We've never done any specific marketing
Yeah.
around 16.
That's fantastic.
Pure word of mouth.
Yeah.
We had our challenges, especially when we
So
when we did,
when it started, it was just you, and then then as you grew, you brought more on, or how did that start? How did that go?
yeah, so it was for quite a while. It was just myself.
Yeah, you running around doing everything basically.
Yeah, I call it. It was the time of the 5 Davids.
Yeah.
There were 5 Davids in the company. There's David on support, David on sales, David on
I've been there. Yeah.
24/7.
yeah. David didn't have a life. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We started growing and then shrunk again because we grew to a kind of 3-4 people, and then all of a sudden I ended up alone again.
Yeah.
In the whole operation.
How was that? Was that a bit scary, or was that just?
Well, 2 sides of it. I made a ton of money during that period, but I didn't have a life.
Yeah. I'm with you.
As you clearly mentioned. But yeah, the kind of the iteration was interesting and interesting to learn kind of what.
It's learning curves, I guess, isn't it? As you grow
Exactly.
and you learn, and as a person.
And yeah, in the way we see things, with especially things like tech, when what's it called? When we switched Lavo to Ikentu, we just went to all our clients and said, we're gonna switch you over. Free of charge, we're gonna switch you over to this new product. Because we think it is the best.
And when the adoption was okay, or how was adoption?
The price didn't change, so everyone was okay with it. So since there was no price difference,
Then that's a nice one, isn't it? That's easy. I think that's easy then, I guess. And if there's no price difference, then the adoption is going to be higher.
yeah. And
Better system, same price, no brainer.
we changed the whole client base back then, and of course then kept building on it.
Yeah. And then, so from there, did you start to do consulting and stuff with, because you obviously there was consulting, so you had the implementation. Were you doing any like other stuff, or like operational bits and bobs at that point, or not?
No, not yet. So that came in now a year and a half ago.
Okay.
With 16360,
Yeah.
which is a sister
Oh yeah, because
company.
that's the other piece, isn't it? I saw
Yes.
that. Yeah, I saw that on your LinkedIn. I like the 360. It's very clever. So you got the 360 overview. Okay, so then you got to the point where you shrunk the tech stack. You've shrunk it. You're onto
up
iSight.
until COVID.
Yes.
We had a tech stack of like 6
Yeah.
in total, including Zero.
Yeah.
And I think we were at around 65 outlets on Malta.
Yeah.
COVID was the exponential care for us.
Yeah.
The-
Did you find, so I listen, no one likes talking about it, right? Because it's a challenging time, especially in hospitality. We had the same. For us, at the other end of it, it was a really a good way for everyone to restructure and re-understand your business, right? Because you said you had the tech stack out there. So did it let you have time to look at it?
In our case, no.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because we took lease on our 300 square meter office in January 2020.
Yeah.
And it was a construction site. Of course, March, we all know what happened. And so apart from just taking on the lease, starting the renovation of a new office, clients were in dire straits.
Yeah.
In Malta, COVID aligned with the introduction of delivery platforms.
Yeah.
So we had Bolt and Wolt being introduced, and everyone was like, what do I do with these? So one decision we've done, and which we're proud of, and also most of our clients actually appreciate, is that during that time, we just pulled up our sleeves and gave all our services for free.
Yeah. We did the
Support
same.
free of charge.
Yeah.
Give us the menu. We're going to update all your menus, new pricing, this,
Yeah.
that, the other. Let's
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And we never look back.
Yeah. I think that's important. We helped clients during that time that were being ripped off, like really badly, and it's upsetting. Anyway, it's a previous time, but I think it made you stronger because the clients that you had at that point, there's a better belief in you because there's the
And most
trust.
of them grew.
Yeah.
And grew exponentially.
Yeah.
Because then kind of there came the wave of the kind of the buyouts, the acquisitions, etc., and every one of those, because we had good clients, our clients were buying the
other
competition.
sides. Yeah.
Which
Interesting.
meant introducing our tech stack into
there. So then, okay. So more recently, then you've come down. Then you got rid of? Did you got rid of the platforms, and then you went to focus on?
Yes. So 2 years ago, we took the hard decision of parting ways with Zero.
Yeah.
Parting ways in a sense that we don't sell it directly. We're selling it through the official partner now in Malta. We've basically transferred all our business to them.
Yeah.
And focused primarily
So
on...
are they doing like financial stuff as well as
Yes.
Because what were you doing before? Were you just selling? You were selling the subscription for the software, and then supporting.
We were ending up selling the subscription, but also selling certain level of advice.
Yeah.
How do I do this? How do I do that?
Yeah.
But it's not purely tech. It's how do I set up my chart of accounts?
Yeah.
Now it's accounting.
That's a lot.
I can do it, but how do you get people to be trained to do that if they're not on the accounting space? And we were not interested in going into that
To that route,
into that space.
Yeah.
Or heavily investing down.
Yeah, I understand. So you dropped those ones, and what were you left with?
We were left with Lightspeed.
Yeah.
As the heart. We also have SumUp EPOS.
Yes.
On for all of Malta.
So did you find SumUp is very, because we work with them. I knew Ollie, who was at Good Till.
Yeah.
Hi Ollie, who's chilling out somewhere now. Their platform's pretty good. And so do you find that platform's very suited for the smaller, the little ones? And then obviously you've got Lightspeed for.
It's an interesting the cake. There is a piece of the cake for every vendor, and kind of understanding who the not target audience, because you can target whatever you want.
Yeah.
Who the right fit audience is for the product is very important.
Yeah.
2.5 years ago, we acquired an operation of fiscal cash registers. Very.
I remember you telling me about that. I remember. Yeah. So just to, okay, sorry, we have to talk about this. Can you just very quickly touch on the fiscal stuff, because we don't have it here.
We don't have it in Malta either, but.
But how come? Okay.
So let's me clarify.
Yeah, go on.
So when I say fiscal cash register, so let me. I don't know if you actually do have this in the UK. Do you have those small machines which print the literal receipts and have a copy inside?
Oh yeah.
That's a fiscal receipt. That's a fiscal cash register.
Is that what it's called? You're getting technical on me.
Fair enough.
So the old bip tills, basically.
Yeah, beep.
Yeah, receipts. There you go. Nice.
But those machines would have a copy in an SD card or in a
okay.
For
so if
them to be fiscal. In some countries, for example, Hungary, those machines need to be connected by a SIM card with the government.
Okay, yeah, fine. Okay,
Same applies with Italy.
Yes.
So Italy, in the case of Italy, they've done it through an Epson printer.
Yes.
So you need to buy a specific Epson printer.
And then when it prints the receipt, it sends it to the local government, comes back with the individual
with a
unique
serial
ID.
number that gets printed on the receipt.
Yeah. I remember I was saying to someone else a little while ago, I don't remember where I was, but I was definitely somewhere where it was fiscal. I think it was probably in Italy, and we were in a taxi, and and he goes, "I need to give you the receipt." I said, "I don't need it. I need to give it." The whole thing was just broken.
They get fined very, very, very badly.
It's crazy.
And actually, Italy has done a very interesting approach towards card payments. I believe it's 2 years ago where they said it's now illegal to not accept card payments.
Oh, really?
You cannot go to a shop and they tell you, I can't
Yeah.
accept card payments.
Try go to Germany. Everything's
No.
in cash.
Believe me, I proposed to my wife in Germany.
Yeah.
And we went to this Pink concert, and I only had 20 euros in my pocket. And we went in, 20 euros and a card. Went to the bar and like trying to order. And no, sorry, cash.
Yeah.
Cash? We didn't.
Seriously, friends of mine are the same. Like they've gone out for drinking, and they're like nothing. You could go to cash
And
point.
but you can't go out. And there was no cash machine. So this was gated,
Yeah.
checked, and all
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
usual
yeah.
stuff. You
Wow.
can't go out. So I had to stay with a pint each, and that's it.
It's a cheap date. You're a cheap date. Okay, so then what happened with the registers?
So the registers opened up a market of
Because they were end of life, right? Or not?
not exactly. So they are not end of life themselves,
Yes.
and kind of there's an audience which is wanting these
Yeah.
kind of cash registers, and there was a very big. The company had been in Malta for quite a long time.
Oh, okay.
So there was quite a big audience
Yeah.
of people using them, and it kind of got us towards having the extreme lower end. So someone who wants to open a shop needs to be fiscal.
Yeah.
So you either go fiscal or else go for a computerized system and make an exemption to the fiscal.
So then you can actually just go all the way down to just literally there. But then
350 euros and you're
yeah.
open.
Do you find that after time they come back to you for like actually
Yes.
and then
Because then again, and there's no reason trying to kind of force.
yeah, don't push them on it. Yeah, yeah,
system. If they can afford it,
yeah,
they will buy the best. But if they can't,
yeah,
then give options.
yeah. I like that.
And we like to give all the options. And in most cases, we get clients who are like, "Yeah, I want 6 iPads in my restaurant," and it's a very small restaurant.
yeah.
I'm sorry, don't. You don't.
You're
need
not
them.
like many POS solution providers because the rest of them the bigger one, not the bigger ones, but not Lightspeed here, obviously. The other ones are like, yeah, have eight, take 8.
That's short term.
Yes.
The client would realize that 6 of those 8 are
Yeah.
just sitting there.
Do nothing.
He'll start seeing them with dollar signs on them,
Yeah.
and let's say I've been ripped off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
In,
So you're
in
open
10
and
years
honest,
we've
which is
been
nice.
operating.
Yeah.
I can count on the 2 hands the number of people that churned from us.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Literally.
Yeah, but I think the
wouldn't
question
even
is that
fill
also,
a-
you know,
2 hands.
You're in Malta. You create a nice name. There's a good name. So I think that's the other piece as well. And also from us speaking in the past as well, there's a bit. I think from how I see it, there's a big belief in looking after your customer.
Yes.
So you know, and then as you said earlier, they grow with you as well. So that's why we're the same. For on the IT side, if people leave, it's usually they've been bought out by a bigger company, or
Which you have no
or
control
they've closed, or they've closed.
Out of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, exactly. So interesting. Okay, so now we're up to a couple of years ago. So were you already building stuff then?
No.
So
After I left the vehicle tracking company,
yeah.
I made a pact with myself of not going into software development again.
Dope.
That pact lasted like 5 years.
Yeah.
if 5 years. So no, up until we had started Buddy.
Yeah.
But not Illglu.
Yeah.
So Illglu started during COVID. Truly.
So Buddy had already been. Was it why? Is that because of your background? Is it finance in your background or just?
No, I'm tech.
You're-
So I'm completing
yeah.
information systems.
You were helping people with Zero.
And I was using them in my other companies.
Yeah.
So that's why kind of I was interested
Yeah.
in doing that. But
So when did we'll touch on Buddy in a sec. When did that project start?
Buddy started 2018.
Okay, it's a while ago.
2018, yes. Through the desperate need to sell TNA.
Yeah.
So we couldn't sell TNA without payroll.
Oh, okay.
And I think that is true to today.
Interesting.
TNA on its own can do a certain amount of things, but then you need to plug in a payroll.
Okay.
And we couldn't find
I'm going to be a bit like I'm saying. Okay, what is TNA?
Time and attendance.
Time
Deputy
attendance.
workforce
Sorry,
was in
I
place.
had Lawrence the other day, and he was telling me stuff, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "What do you call this thing?" Not the same as you. What do you call this thing where the car? I went car wash, and he goes. I said, what do you call it? I think he said he called it the Waschenstrasse, which is like the wash street. Sorry, time and it's like R&R. I said to him R&R. He doesn't know what I said. Rest and relaxation. He didn't get it. So TNA. I've never heard of TNA before, but I understand what TNA is now. Workforce management.
Workforce was called Tender because it's T and A.
Oh, is that why it's called that? Tender. It's called Tender. I don't understand why they don't call it Tender now, because I like the name Tender, because you can say it well, right? Tender. So sorry, I keep telling them that they should call it. They go, yeah, it's a great name. Okay, so I didn't know that's why it was called that. Interesting. Now I get it. Australian humour.
That's what I'm assuming it was.
Yeah. Some bloke just called it tender, or misheard. Okay, fine. So time attendant, and then did you build a time attendant, or were you selling it?
No, we were selling deputy.
Oh, okay, interesting.
We were selling deputy and zero.
Yeah.
Zero was okay to sell, but people were not buying deputy because they were asking for payroll.
Oh, interesting.
Again, I was still true to my pact of not going into software development.
Yeah.
So I reached out to all of the payroll providers for integration.
Yeah.
Guess what?
No.
Awkward silence.
Yeah, true. Yeah, 100%. Not interested.
And if you can't go through the door,
build it.
Or go through the window.
Yeah, 100%. Or break in. No, okay. Yeah, which you probably did. So
so that's when I met my co-founder Jonathan, and we built Buddy, thinking it's going to be a quick.
And then you plugged it into Zero. Was that one of the first things you did?
Zero and deputy.
Okay. Oh, nice. So straight through. Done. So okay.
Time and attendance, go straight to Buddy. We calculate all the engines, overtimes, allowances, blah 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 blah. Calculate payroll, post into Zero.
And is it now doing? Is it also doing additional work, additional accountancy stuff, or not, or is it just the?
No. We're pure payroll.
Okay, just pure payroll.
And payroll now focusing, at least in the UK market, on bureau.
Yeah.
Bureau payroll.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So managing it all for the customer. Well, not managing it, but just
we are the software of the payroll bureau manager.
Yeah. Okay, so they just press a button, you put it all in, and they do the rest.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's putting the numbers in, crunching the numbers.
Yesterday we were joking about this. Press a button and it all gets done.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It cannot get done in payroll. It's not that simple.
There's a few human aspects of it, I'm sure. So you started to build that, and then when did the development side for Lightspeed Illglu come?
So Illglu came through.
Sorry, Illglu. I keep calling it Illglu. I need to get rid of the line because I quite like Illglu as a name, but Illglu. Why Illglu? What does it mean?
So Illglu translates to the glue in Maltese.
Okay.
And it actually started from igloo.
Yeah.
So we were going to call it Igloo, and then Jonathan was like,
"No,
let's call it Illglue."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll do it.
Nice.
So basically that started off because we needed back then a deputy to Lightspeed.
Oh, okay. So did you build the deputy to Lightspeed integration?
The initial one, yes. And also a Vault, which is one of the aggregators on Malta, into Lightspeed.
Okay.
And that was a game changer.
Yeah.
So the moment we did Vault to Lightspeed, we went ballistic because we were one of the very few POS systems who could offer that.
Yeah.
And it was saving restaurants.
Yeah, time and money. Yeah, absolutely.
And accuracy.
Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. So they didn't have the Starship Enterprise with all the different tablets everywhere. Because I remember back in the day there were because it wasn't just
in Malta it was contained because it was always two.
Oh, it was just two. God, I mean, in the when it started, I mean, we had here you had Henchman, you had Uber and Deliveroo, you obviously Just Eat.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just. I mean, I remember going to a client. There was 5 tablets next to the till.
To a certain extent, that was why certain platforms were not suited for Malta.
Yeah.
Because they were built for 5-10 connections, whereas we had 2. So the price difference.
So what was it? So what? Are they still just 2 now, or is there more now?
It's still 2 now. Yes.
So what are the 2?
Vault and Bolt.
Okay. So Bolt's
Bolt has Bolt food in Malta.
Nice. I love Bolt. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And we do both of them.
And you plug in both of them. Yeah, so are you one of the only ones that plug into both of them, or I mean, I'm sure there's others now, but
No, we're the only ones.
Really? Look at this. You've got stamp on
To
Malta.
both of them.
Nice. That's awesome. So then, okay, so you built that. All your restaurants are happier. So then you must have clients who don't use you for. Well, I guess. So are there other? Are you now the plumbing? So Illglu, right? I can't even being the glue. Are you that? Are you the plumbing for other people as well to plug into?
Yes. So technically, on Malta, we are two resellers because we were ICANN2 and the other reseller was Lightspeed. So we still operate as two. And yes, we do offer our services to anyone using Lightspeed in the terms of Lightspeed, but Illglu grew beyond Lightspeed. So Lightspeed was the flagship because 16 needed those integrations. So we started off by saying 16 is being asked for these integrations. Let's build them in Illglu. But by time, we now build integrations which are beyond just Lightspeed.
Oh, awesome!
So we can do any kind of integration between SaaS software. We're mainly focused on hospitality.
Yeah. That's your bag, right? Yeah.
It's the background, and I think it's where a lot of these integrations need help. And
I think the main challenge is that there are a couple of people out there as well. That I mean, there's Deliverect, right, which does the delivery thing, and customer service is a bit challenging for that one. But that if someone wants to build something, if I go to Lightspeed now and say I want to build this, they're going to be like, oh, give me a business case. Do you have 100 customers? Blah blah blah.
And there's so the business model around Illglu lies around the fact that we're mentioning Lightspeed. Lightspeed have their dev pipeline.
Yeah.
So would any other third-party SaaS app who's working on building their own pipeline. But the sales team would see the benefit of an integration between app A and app B. And that is where we come in, because if you try and align two pipelines to find a 6-week window to build an integration, it's going to take ages and it's going to cost a lot of money. Whereas our dev team is designed to do only that.
Yeah.
So we'll slot you in and we'll keep maintaining the integration.
Nice. And so what puzzles are you plugging into now?
I don't know them off the back of my...
Damn you! Yeah, but okay, so we can share it. So it's multiple solutions that you're plugging into. Yes, companies come to you and say, well, I mean, I've introduced you as well. So I mean, companies come to you and say, we have this product, we want to be able to do this. Can you do it? Are there is there points where you say, okay, so we can do this, but will the other side say, or is there more trust in you because you're not going to say yes to everyone, right?
So we don't say yes to everyone because there are a number of things. There's the technical side in terms of is there good APIs on both ends to start off with. But usually we don't even go into the commercial relationship. So we'll let the two apps do their own commercial relationship between them. We are the tech.
Oh, okay. So they'll go direct to, for example, Lightspeed. And they'll say, we want to do this, and then they'll go actually speak to these guys. Which is the way forward, because otherwise...
Agreeing commercials is easy.
Yeah.
It's the technical side that becomes a problem. Yeah. So we just do the technical.
Nice. So you become an extension for Lightspeed? That is like a development extension. And what I'm saying is, if a brand goes to
the app, so beyond purely just Lightspeed or any other pod, it can.
So if someone plugs into infrastructure, you're the plumbing, right? Realistically,
we are the plumbing.
So then they can go into anything you already plugged into, right? Obviously at cost, depending on what it is, and
also because we also do business logic in between. So we're not a Zapier. So we're not you plug into us. Yeah. Now we have 10 POSes or 10 accounting packages which we connect to. You're connected to all of them. Yeah. It won't work that way, because we take the data and the kind of data that there is on one side. Yeah. And beyond just being plumbing, we're a plumbing with an engine in between.
Nice. So you filter it, you make it work,
we make sense of the data.
Nice.
And feed it to the other side.
Nice. And that saves those people lots of time, right? And
it makes proper integrations.
Yeah.
Because some integrations, a lot of people call integrations an export-import integration.
Yeah. No, it isn't.
But you technically can say it's an integration. But it's not.
No. Okay, fine. Okay, so gosh, we're going through. I put in it actually to if we can quickly do it. I said, have you got any funny stories of client setups or any little things you can touch on? Oops. Now That's my wife contacting me. There you go. It's the first time it's ever happened.
Pause.
So this is really funny. I'm not gonna edit this. But she sent me a message. I'm sending her a message. So I've sent her a message, everyone. She'll read this and be like, "Oh, thanks." So there we go. That was nice, wasn't it? She knows if I don't answer the phone call, she'll send me a ping on my phone.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Okay, so
Funny stories.
Yeah, so we can probably touch on a bit more on Buddy because you're here. You're here. So is it? Why weren't you here earlier, or is it just because it wasn't regulation, or there's certain?
So with payroll, every country needs a lot of regulation.
Yes.
Changes, and we started from Malta 6 years ago, and there it's crazy, literally, because while there is legislation, it's all in the UK it's a bit more structured.
Yeah.
When it comes to at least payroll legislation, but we took our time. It took us 3 years to get to the full product. Because we wanted to listen. So we wanted to showcase what we're working on, but also get feedback from the market.
So is that in Malta or here as well?
UK.
In here in UK.
In UK.
Interesting.
So 3 years
So did you have people testing and trialing it here?
Testing and trialing, but we also attended expos, events,
To see
and
what-
on
see
any
the
kind
market.
of way we can
With Buddy,
speak
right?
to
With Buddy, because
now it is with the Buddy.
that's what I meant, with the Buddy, right? Because I love that. Your mascot's awesome. I will see if I can do an insert into it on the video. But the poor bastard, whoever's in that, it all throughout the day. But yeah, I do like the mascot. It does give a thingy. Okay, so you basically you took step. You looked at what's here, and then basically adjusting the product.
Yeah, and build the product around its users as opposed to just around tech. So we had good tech, but also we understood what the user needed.
Yeah.
Out there in the market, and now Buddy is tendering and working with quite a big number of.
Really, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so we
and contract wise, is it because lots of the other ones are like, I'm going to sign you up for 36 months. I'm going to lock you in for the rest of your life. What's the flow on that one? Is it just?
No, we don't do that at all. And pricing is extremely simple. It's 1, 2, 3 pound.
Yeah.
That's basically about it. It
Nice.
keeps going up based on.
And then you plugged into more workforce management platforms now?
Yeah, we're plugged into all of the pensions. We're plugged into Deputy Workforce. We're plugged into Xero, QuickBooks, Sage.
Nice.
Teleroo, Teleroo and Fiorin.
Okay. Good. But you said that the first few I understood. Okay, amazing. And then, okay, perfect. So, and you and the current clients you have, are they helping you adjust it, or are you done now, or is it still making iterations?
No. The moment you're done, you're dead.
Yeah, true. No, you're absolutely right.
I was having a conversation yesterday with a payroll bureau manager around a company which seems to have taken the direction of not investing anymore in the product.
Ooh.
And I made the statement, okay, they're sunsetting the product.
Yeah.
No, they're not sunsetting the product. They're just not putting any investment in it.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of sunsetting
100%.
the product.
Yeah.
Well,
look at. So
at one point in time, it's going to die.
Yeah.
So do you want to keep investing in? Do you want to keep your risk to that point?
Last thing you want is that sunsetting, isn't it? So you're helping people transition away from others. Can you pull the data out, or?
Yep.
So you're helping them pull the data out of other platforms. Interesting.
And in the space, at least, most of the players are being acquired by the bigger companies.
Yeah. Not happening to you, unless it's worth it. Ooh. Not yet. To conquer the UK first. Okay. What's next? Are you building? Is there new stuff being built? I mean, what's the future of the? Because you have the 360 now, so now you're not only you providing an infrastructure, you're going to go in. You're helping operationally side, right?
360, yes, is mostly that, and 360 came out of the need to work very closely with the operator to implement the product like MarketMan.
Yeah.
So something like MarketMan,
Yeah.
it's a very good product, but
It scares me.
it scared.
I'm not an operator.
No,
right?
it scared me in the first
Yeah.
instance as well.
Yeah.
But then you'd realize that, and this applies to any stock control software. Stock control is as good as its inputs.
Yes.
And most of the work is in the beginning. So we usually tend to kind of stay as far away from introducing stock control, or at least marketmen. There are others which are more suited.
Yes.
ePosibility have Optimize, which is kind of designed for more higher end and more complex operations.
Yes. Yeah.
But there is that need to literally sit down and build the initial database.
Yeah.
And if that is done correctly,
You're
then,
winning. Yeah.
then there will be a flow.
Yeah, the foundation. If you've got the foundation built,
But the foundation can take anywhere between 2, 3, 6, 12 months.
yeah.
And it's
Or it depends if you've got the information to hand, right, and all there, because people are still bringing in.
at quoting stage, everyone has the information
Yeah.
at hand. Then when you start, okay, where's the information? I don't know.
Welcome to hospitality. It's in a piece of paper. I left it in the office. I'll get it for you now. And then it's never there. It's gone. Yeah.
But there we saw that kind of, okay, it's not a problem.
Yeah. We'll do
I'll
it for
send
you.
you someone. We'll do it for you.
Nice.
And we'll show you, we'll teach you.
So you do? Do you do that as other stuff as well? Like if the 360 is that trying to help with the tech stack as well? So not just a consultancy piece, or is that just those apps that are pretty?
It's called 16360 because beyond things like marketmen, we also have a pool of experts.
Nice.
In all kinds of areas. So we've got chefs, we've got lawyers, we've got accountants, we've got all kinds of.
You've really literally pulled in anything for hospitality. They can come in and make a phone call and say, "I need
in a restaurant, or at least in a let's say in a salad bar, in a snack shop, you don't need a full-time chef.
no,
This is
yeah,
food manufacturing.
yeah,
But you'd need a chef once every quarter when you change your menu.
yeah." That's
So-
really clever. So that's not just. I mean, literally, you've turned them. Like when I saw it, I thought it was literally like the consultancy piece, but you've actually sort of taken more structure out and actually been anything really. You know.
Yeah. Our core business is still around stock control. Around we do mystery shopping. We do stock validation.
Yeah. One of my clients before he moved to Toast, he had a company come in. I think he still does it now, actually, even though he has Toast. They come in at once every couple of weeks and they do his stock control for him.
Yeah.
And he has that. He doesn't do it. He goes, "I don't trust my team. I'll send someone in."
And if the same person who is stealing or misplacing, let's use the word misplacing,
Yes.
counting,
Yeah.
then he's compensating.
Yeah. Very clever. Interesting. Okay, that's really clever. So, and how long's the 360 been around?
A year and a half now.
Okay, nice.
A year and a half.
And what's next? What's up on the? Are you allowed to share what's coming? What's coming? Like, what are you building now? Because now you're like building. You're never going to stop. You're like, I'm never going to build anymore.
I took a decision a couple of years ago to consolidate.
Yes.
So we've started seeing what we can't handle anymore, and made sure it got the tender love and care that it needs, and the clients will.
That's
need,
important.
With other partners, and we're now focusing on growth. So it's now 16 hospitality. We're aiming.
And just a quick question: what's your percent like for you guys? The range of different people in Malta. What percentage of people have Lightspeed in Malta, for example?
I would calculate between us and the other provider.
Yeah.
I think we're close to 70%.
Wow.
Yes.
That is market share. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
You still have an open invite to come and visit.
I do, and I thank you.
Lightspeed
Yeah,
Island.
you sent me. Here's the flights. I was like, you scared the shit out of me. So you can just come for the day, and I was like, oh, I'm doing too many podcasts, man. But we got you here. Okay, amazing. So so now you're consolidating, streamlining, and then basically looking to help your partners grow. Basically, that's the plan.
Yeah, and opening up new territory.
Yeah.
So yeah. Ooh. So it's new territory where the whole idea is that kind of
do you think maybe take the template of what you've built and then and then out because it works
and and to a certain extent we're open for partners in
take
different
over the
territories.
world. So so I guess, and so is a plan to try and get Buddy into other areas as well. I mean, you've done
with Buddy. We've done Malta. We've done the UK.
Nice.
Ireland is kind of next up.
Yeah.
But of course, the UK, there's a lot to be done.
Yeah, loads.
I'd say we haven't even started yet. Our plans for the UK were taken upside down because we initially started looking to target the small to mid, but when we launched, big enterprise started coming in and 100,000 to 200,000 pay slips per company, and they're asking for the product, testing it, and they're liking what they're seeing.
Yeah. Perfect. And that gives you opportunity for them to make those changes and adjustments. It's worth it when the big ones come in and go, can you do this? Okay, amazing. So this is really interesting. I mean, you sort of fallen into all this sort of stuff. It's so interesting.
All the companies within the group are related, but they're not.
Yeah. I get that. There's the Chinese wall in between, right?
There is, but they all kind of...
Yeah, well, it's a family of a family thing. Okay, so we are at the end. There's a couple more questions, but I'm going to give you a little round of applause. Thank you so much for coming and your time as well. The last couple of questions we have is best restaurant.
I took a note about these. Too much things. Best restaurant. I think one of the best restaurant experience I've had was at Bahia in Malta.
Yeah,
it's a 1-star Michelin, and it's one of the ones which
was a good experience.
Yep.
So they welcome back every week, don't they? Yeah. I'm kidding. Best burger. That's a tricky one, but I mean, have you had many burgers here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I like, but
generally we're anywhere.
I'm gonna go for a Maltese brand.
Yeah.
So it's called Hermanos Burgers.
Yeah.
When the Store Kid guys were in Malta, I took them to Hermanos because it's a common client, and every time they come, it's a must now.
Nice.
They can't leave
until
Malta if they don't get Hermanos.
I will put it in the show notes. Best hotel.
This was tricky because I wasn't quite sure kind of which one it should be, but I think one hotel which impressed me and I like their concept is Citizen M.
Yeah.
I think it's the future of hotels. Small room, big open co-working space.
Yeah.
It's functional. It does what it's there to do, and it's consistent. So you go wherever
that's
you go.
Important. It has to be consistent, right? Nowadays. Okay, now we're on the last piece, which is the 2 questions for the next guest. And the next guest could be marketing, operations, could be an operator, could be anyone.
Okay.
So 2 questions for the next guest, pretty please.
So I gave a lot of thought to this. I think one question which I would ask is what role do you think data should play in the day-to-day running of a hospitality business?
Oh, data
and day-to-day, because most of the time data gets analyzed at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter. But what if it needs or should be analyzed on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, interesting.
And what changes would there be done there?
Yeah. Okay, next one. That's pretty deep.
This one is short, but it's interesting. So tech stack or single supplier?
Ooh.
And why?
Yeah, and why? Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I think this conversation is very open.
It's very open.
My choice is tech stack.
Yeah.
Because I think no one can be the best of everything.
Yes.
And tech stack gives you the best of everything.
I'm in agreement with you. I think I said it yesterday. It's the I'm probably gonna get it wrong again. The master of none. The bloody term. The master of. I completely forgot.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
There you go. Thank you. I couldn't even say it yesterday either. It was on top of my tongue. But yeah, it's difficult. If people say they do it, they don't do it all. But there are some that are pretty good that can do most. But you'll never have everything with everything.
Yes, and even when it is extreme big corporate. So
yeah,
because I think in this equation, money doesn't quite play the role it does. So it's not, if you have a lot of money, you can invest or buy different techs and squeeze them into the same thing.
Yeah.
You'd still be a POS company. You'd still be a stock control company.
So quick before we go, quick question. Do you, for the bigger brands, when you're doing more stuff for them, whatever, do you find, because we've done this recently with some other clients, has the customer brought everyone into the room together to share together, right? Because as in bring you the POS guys in, bring stock control people in. Do you find, has that happened much or not? Because
in our case, we do all that heavy lifting ourselves.
Yeah, true.
So whenever So for me,
So basically, you sit in a room with yourself and tell everyone else what to plug in.
I was having a chat. I won't tell you the brand, but I was having a chat, and who is it knows, and they were giving me a demo, and I told them, send me a demo, and I'm gonna try and break it.
Yeah,
If I can't break it, then the client won't,
yeah,
and I'll do my best to break it, and
Yeah.
I'd give you my feedback.
yeah,
So you'd come back and fix and change and adapt,
Yeah.
and because that's where you need to start.
yeah. But you've learned that from what you're doing as well. So I think that's a benefit you have. You've got your building stuff. So I understand when we're building stuff.
Yes,
so
but
you've got to give
also
it to
look at it on the lines of, if I own a restaurant,
Yes.
would I want this tech in my restaurant?
Yeah. Yeah, true. But then you've got the space inside where your office is, right? So
Right now.
you've got your let's try this out down there right now, and you scare the crap out of this tech companies. Okay, let me give you another round of applause. This is David from 16 and all the variations of 16. Thank you so much for coming. This was really awesome, and I wish you lots of luck with Buddy. I will put all the links with Buddy and so people can check it out, and 16 of course. And thank you so much. So give everyone a wave goodbye.